control by simply try to tell SAS that separate the computation by certain variable. So in this case, I say separate them by symbol. And of course, you can say by date and symbol. More than one layers. But once you run this, are you done? You can try to work on it on your own. You can highlight them and run and see if you encounter any problem. Check the lock. Check the lock. For the black the name variables in blacks here, you can name it the way you want. Okay, you don't really need to follow me exactly. Up to you. But in blue, dark blue, including semicolon, you have to follow strictly. Otherwise, you will find the problem. It will not function correctly. Okay. Okay, I think let me show you how it is functioning. Are you done? You almost done? Let me highlight here. Make sure plug and run. And I click submit, run guide, and I check the log. So it tells me that error message data set is not started in ascending sequence. So it's just a limitation of the computation, that if you want to separate the computation by the layer or by the variables like this, you have to sort them by that particular variable. What does it mean? So before you can begin to run PlugMe, you have to sort them. So sort, right? Sort. Then what? Data equal to sample 1. Then what? By. Don't forget this semicolon. Okay. By symbol. Right? It can be in the same line. It doesn't matter if it's too short. It in the same line. Make sure you run here first before you come here. Then it goes smoothly. So I run here, I highlight here, and then I click run. See? Okay. Boom. Now, once the program finishes running, it will also generate the output automatically for you. Generate the output a lot, right? By symbol. You can see it goes from the A to Z. And now I have this in my stack by symbol, variable by symbol, something like that. Almost done, almost done. Once we are done here, I guess that I will try to give you some very easy example, but you will have to come up the code on your own. It's just a matter of practice, and this is the first time in your life. It won't be easy. Yes, any question?
I just wanted to go off for that.
If you have any question or encounter any problem, let me know so that you won't get stuck. Otherwise, you always get confused. Yep. Any question? Kita code.
ซิมโฟทำไมของพี่เป็นซิมโฟ
I will give you the file. Don't worry later.
คือมันเป็นซิมโฟเข้าคำอ่ะโอ้ยบาดจัง
Okay, last point. Don't be nervous. If you take some time to digest these new things.
แล้วมันไปอยู่ไหนนะ มันไปอยู่สแตทอะ
Are you okay?
โอเคค่ะไม่โอเคเลย
Everything okay?
เป็นไรมันไม่มีมันหายไป
โทษที
มันมาอยู่ตรงนี้
ย้ายได้ไหมย้ายไม่ได้ตรงนี้ครับมาอยู่ที่นิวิว
อ๋อขอบคุณค่ะพี่รันแล้วก็ ใช้แชมพู2นะทำไมมันไม่หายเป็นซิมโฟอ่ะ
Because you have this data set open, it cannot replace the open data set. You left it open, it means the data is locked. You cannot delete the existing one and create a new one. Therefore, you have to close it first. Now you sure. It's just some trick. Yep.
No more problems, no problems.
Okay, let's move on to the last step in our 3 boxes. We have input, process, and output, right? What's about the output? There are again many ways to get the output. But the most common one would be that we output it into Excel. Common one. So this is very useful for you guys, especially normally when you write the report, you might want to export it into normally either Excel or SAS. SAS is for further analysis if it's not done yet. But if it's in Excel, you might want to run regression and get the output as Excel. Put it in a nice format table. Give it to your advisor, right? And your advisor say that's wrong. Something like that, right? Anyway, so you might want to export it into Excel. You cannot copy from SAS, paste it, copy, paste. Okay, you won't finish this year. So what's our important functions? Proc export. Easy one. Proc export. Data equal to the data name. What is the data name you want to export? What's the format of output file? In this case, you want to output it as Excel format. So Excel now is XLSX. Again, replace means that suppose you have already created this file in this location. Replace it. Okay. If not, you will encounter error. Out file says so. Out file go to this location, that name. And you might want to specify the sheet in the case that you output several data, right? Several data sets. Go to the same file, but you want to put them as a different sheet. These are all you need for export. Now you can try. We have stack like this, and I want to export all of this as Excel in my location. Of course, not this one. stat 1 not stat or stat 1 stat
มีข้อดีอันเดียวคือก๊อปแต่สีมันแปลกๆเอาละ
You can see that now I have sample out in this location. And if I open it, I should see something like this. Okay, now you can practice on your own. Okay, don't need to do that. Let me skip this one, but you can try to go back to check it out later. Another way is simply put it in the text file, and put each of them like this. But let me skip this one. It's not very important for now. Let's do some exercise. Exercise 0, just 0. Read set 50 index constituents from the file I gave you. Set 50 index constituent, where is it? You go to your folder, and I think I gave you set 50 index in different formats. Right? I have text, I have Excel, CSV, I'm not sure which one do you have. Try to read it on your own. Write a code on your own to read it in, because right now we don't have set 50 yet. You can pick the code that you want to plot import, or you use data, right? But the word of caution is, before you can write a code on anything, you might need to take a quick look at your data set. By taking a quick look means that you simply open up, see how does it look like.
ต้องใช้ data
So once you open it up, you see that there are 3 different columns, right? Which columns that you think you need to use it? And notice the first row. Notice the first row.
There's no title row.
There is no title rows. Good. There is no title row, so you might find some problem. But I'm not telling you anything yet. Try to work with it. What if there is no title row? What would you do? You can choose prop import, or you can choose data step. Up to you. But make sure your code is able to run. Whatever. It's pretty easy, but yeah, you need to practice a bit. อันนี้ถ่ายวิดีโออยู่หรือเปล่าถ่ายวิดีโอด้วยผมเดินไปเดินมาปักจอ
convert เป็น tag เฮ้ย convert เป็น tag เยอะมากเลยดิ convert เป็น tag อ๋อเธอ import data อย่างนี้แต่มันไม่มีหัวนะ
ไม่มีหัวทำยังไงหัวไฟล์หรือหัวของเราหัวของเรามั้ยได้ In real life you can modify the way you want. Okay, let me tell you this. There are several solutions. First, change the Excel file. Make up another row as a header. Up to you, because the file is not big. Second, you can import the data in, but you will find that the variable name is not meaningful. It's just var1, var2, var3.
Is there any way we can insert the...
You can rename the variable name later. Just another step. Another one is you can use data step. But once you read data step, because one of the requirements for data step is you have to specify variable name. Therefore, you can tell it right there. You don't want to name it this or that. So each of them has their own way, and there is no right or wrong. It's just a matter of style. Right? No right, no wrong. Just up to you. Does anybody get the result? Does anybody get set 50 index symbol correctly? And for the sake of variable name, don't worry about it for now. Whatever it is, as long as you can read it in, fine.
ที่เขียน industry ที่จริงมันไม่ได้จะใช่
อัน
นะ
นี้คืออะไรอ่ะ
name full name
คือเนม
อันที่สอง symbol เด๋อมากทำไมไม่ได้อะคะเขียนอะไรผิดแล้วค่ะ
This is just
ต้องมีอันนี้ไหมเอ๊ะไม่ใช่
เซมิโคลอนตรงหลังสองแล้วมันต้องสองไหม
หนึ่งก็ลองเลย
Yeah, actually input the variable name.
เฮ้ย what happened
Yeah, this is where you want to put. You can name it the way you want. I mean, accordingly
Just
to
input.
you can even x1, x2, x3.
Okay.
Fair enough.
ทำไม input พี่ไม่ขึ้นมาแล้วเหรอ
ลบ A B C ออก
You will always find a problem once you start thinking to write the code on your own, of course. And that's practice. Is it working? Yeah, it looks like good. You see blue. You see blue in the log file. If you see the blue color, that's good sign.
ใช่ไหม
ใช่คือแอดหัวเข้าไปใน Excel เหรอ
Up.
เซ็นยัง
Good. And the first row is vector name. Wow, excellent. That's good. Yeah, that's correct.
เอาใหม่750เอาใหม่
So I got this as I want to choose the lens. Right?
In this case, again, another trick is if the default length
Get name คืออะไรทำไมถึง no
is large enough, that's not a problem for here, but not enough for here.
จะเอาเฮดเดอร์มาด้วย
And again, if you think that these two variables are not important, so we can just ignore it. Yeah. But if you think it matters, then you have to create length equal to 100.
อันนี้คืออันนี้สร้าง variable ใหม่แล้วเราก็ให้ copy
Okay, let's move on.
variable A มากับที่คอลัมน์ A
I'll say
ตอนแรกที่เราเอาเข้าไปอ่ะ
one
ตอนแร
way.
กที่มันไม่มี
One way is to do this.
ชื่อหัวมันใส่ A B C
Use in file
ก็ไปทำ
and input. In file and input, right? And for in file and input, important parameter here is be limited. Has to be comma. For example, if I want to read CSV, but if I want to use XLS, that's another issue. And because in file, then I have to specify the name. So I name it industry. I name it com name. I name it symbol. All of them are text, so I have to add $sign. In the case that I think the length, default length is not enough to show all. So I have to specify the length like this, right? That's one choice, one option, one solution. Hold on. Another option, I use prop import. So I import this data file, XCSV. I can change it to, actually it can be CSV, but I can also change it to XLS. Note that I can use prompt import with CSV as well. CSV, Excel, something like that. But I cannot do this with Excel. I cannot do dataset with Excel. I can only use dataset with text or CSV. Just some note. You may write this note a little bit. If you are working with Excel, you cannot use dataset to read it like this. You cannot. Simply cannot. If you want to read dataset, you have to either change Excel to CSV or read it with prompt import. That's it. Now, I change this one to XLSX, and I change this one to XLSX, and out equal to set 50, get names. No, don't get names because the first row is not variable name, it's also the data. I change this one to no. That's it. So the result of the first one is set 50 like this. Wrong. Wrong location. See? I get this. Or I use prompt import. But look at variable, the header. Header is weird, right? Header is just weird. Double click header. Name is A, B, C. It doesn't make sense. It's hard to refer. What do you do? What should you do? Change variable name. So in order to change variable name, what would you do?
Can we do it in the column attribute again?
No. Yes, but systematically you don't want to do it manually. You should write a code, and of course in practice later on you won't do it step by step like this. You run the whole bunch, right? And as always, normally once you go or work with your data, you won't find everything smoothly. You will have to come back and run everything again. And if you have to change it manually, it won't work. This is the way we want. If you want to work with the data, we can't help but come back to use data step. We cannot use prompt step. In this case, we want to use the data. We want to work with the data by changing variable name. You open the box, open the table, and change variable name, right? Now, in order to do so, we use data step. And what are the data we want to work with? Set 50. Open set 50 and create set 50. Basically, they are working with the same data set. Existing one, same data set. Don't change anything. Rename is direct word, right? Rename. A. Let me change the word slightly different, right? Industry. A equal to industry. That's it. This is how we change the code, right? The main point here is that once we get set 50 from here, we want to change it systematically because every time we come back and rerun the whole thing again, we don't open up and change manually. Okay? A, B, C, right. So let me do the whole thing again. Run from import data. Set 50. Yep. I think this is just a label. The label doesn't change, but the name changes. So actually the name of the variable changes, but label doesn't change. Label is just like the label, right? You know, you understand the label, right? Something to show up. I think you can change the label to do, but I don't remember label. Never use this label much. Maybe try. Yeah, label. I never use label much, but you can also work with the label as well. So you change from here to there. I will need to check, but so for this point, I'll just skip label for now.
Label works.
Works? It works? Yeah. Why it doesn't work in my case? Let me try again.
I think you have to do the whole thing at the.
Huh?
You can do the whole thing.
Probably. Okay. Thanks. So I run the whole thing again. So the label change to indus, com, and zip. So that's the way we use the command label.
เขียนดอกไหมต้องดอกก่อนนะต้องดอกเดี๋ยวนะ
Oops. We are a bit late, but let me go through almost. We are almost done. Another important point I want to display and show you is this. We have sample 1 here, right? And we have a bunch of set 50 index here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up to 50 stock, right? From A, B, C, whatever. And we have a bunch of data, right? Symbol, price, volume. However, some symbols here available from sample 1 do not match what we have in set 50. Basically, they don't belong to set 50 index, right? Just for example, in this case. Again, another way that we work with the data manipulation is typically, in most cases, we might want to analyze only the samples that exist in set 50 index. For example, we don't analyze small stocks. We don't analyze stock that go, like outside of set 50. That's for example. Therefore, we might want to filter. Okay, only this, only this, only this. They are stock in set 50. How can we do so? Basically, we merge them. Bring them together, merge them. Keep only keep only observations that exist here and here. That's another way of merging. Make sense? And here is the command. Pretty easy one. Merge. Merge sample and merge set by symbol. Right? Easy one. But hold on for a second. Again, there are some limitations as well. Once you have to merge this dataset and this dataset by this variable, SAS requires you to sort them by this particular variable. Therefore, before you can merge them, you have to sort by this first. Otherwise, you will encounter errors again. So question, what do you need to put, what's command you need to put before this row? Okay, now I give you here, but you can add something above on your own. See if you can get it correctly.
Can we use data and prop together as well?
Yeah. Oh, what do you mean? Data and prop
For
together?
sorting. Like for sorting, we have a prop command.
Right. You have to run the sorting before you begin the data step. So you cannot say data here and you can sort here. No, you can't. You have to sort them and finish everything before data step at this row, this line.
So that's what I'm asking. Can I use prop and then prop for sorting and then data for merging?
Yeah, you can. And that's actually what you will do. Okay, I think you can try it on your own and see if it works. Probably that's better. Work? Are you still with me? Yeah. Go back. See previous row. See, I think they are there. Sort. Does it work?
อยากทำไมของพี่มันไม่ยอมเปลี่ยนชื่อให้อ่ะ
Yeah, this is exactly what
เล
you
เบ
need
ล
to do.
ก่อน
You
ต้อ
put
งมี
it
คำว่า
here.
เลเบลด้วย
You
ตู้ไหนอ่ะ
so basically you cannot use sort after data because you will encounter the problem since this row. You have to put sort here. So basically this is all you need to put before you begin data step. Okay, that's all. Okay, you can write this down. Or you can try to run this part of the code before you sort the data and you will see what's the problem. Of course, good thing about writing the computer code is that you can do trial and error, right, without killing any rats. You can try on your own. At this point, try it, please, and see what you get. Please note. I name it differently. I merge from sample 1. This is existing data set. Set 50 is also an existing data set. And once I merge them together, I create the new data set called sample 50. Just new data set. So that I won't bother with the existing one, right? So I create a new one called sample 50, and it will show up here. What do you get? Whoa, a bunch of blank data, right? You get something like this? Get something like this? No, I get error. Almost done. Almost done. This is what I meant by you need some computer things a bit to work with the data. Need some technical issue. You okay? You sure? I love you well.
โอ้ยผมขาดคอมเมนต์ไปแล้ว
ฮะ
ขอดูคอมเมนต์ที่มันเกี่ยวข้องกับการ
หนูน้องตื่นเลย
เดียว
พี่หลงกดปิดไป ตอนนี้ของงานพี่ก็ค้าง
ผมลองดูจากที่ผมลองดูที่ทั้งผมเราหาไม่เจอแต่มองไม่ออกไกลแล้ว
ไอ้ที่ล่าสุดที่อาจารย์บอกว่ายังไม่ได้อ่ะ
เดี๋ยวลองดู
วันบ้านข้างล่างรับก่อน
เอาใหม่เอาใหม่
ผมยังไม่ได้ทำคอลัมน์ผมเลยยังไม่ได้เลเวลคอลัมน์ตัวเอง
เอาไว้แต่แรกครับ
เลยต้องย้อนกลับเลเวลคอลัมน์
เลเวลอ๋อสร้างแค่
ใช่
ทีมเลเวล
เลย
แก้อะไร
เอาไหม
ผมลองจะถ่ายจากทางไกลที่จะไม่ต้องรบกวนดูนะแต่ว่ามันถ่ายไม่ถึงเนี่ยไอโฟนห่วย
ซื้อหัวเมื่อย
ก็ได้เงินรางวัลแล้ว
Let me see
เดี๋ยวตอนนี้
how many more
โอ้ทำไมอ่ะไม่
I think that's all. Yeah, that's all. Or not? Yeah. The remaining are all exercise, so you can practice it on your own.
Yeah.
We are a bit late now. Okay. The result of merging. The result of merging. Okay, please pay attention here a bit. If you run the command that I showed you before, I simply merge two data sets together, right? By symbol. So what do I get? I get a bunch of this, but blank here. Blank industry com name are blank. Why? Why? Because bath, ban pu, maybe they are not in sensitivity. Are they? Are they? But if we scroll down. None of them in ban. Let's see. Oh, I think something wrong. It should not be like blank or blank here. Oh. Okay, what's wrong? I forgot to check wrong. By variable are not properly sorted by set 50, right? So not only some. Sorry, I wrote the wrong code. Wrong code. Sample 1, not sample 50. And then I also sort data.
หมูด้วย
Because I want to merge two data sets, I have to sort both. And actually, you can merge more than two data sets, right? 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess maximum is 30 data sets. You don't need it. So you have to merge both of them. At first, I said sample 50. That's wrong. Merge both, then right. Close this one first. Now I got something like this. Okay, looks better. Looks better. Well, blank, not blank, not blank. Why? Because bath is not in one of the set 50 index. Right? Banpu, yes. Advanced, yes. What else? BCP, whatever it is, I don't know. Bangchak. No, right? As you can see, some of them may be existing here. Some of them may be existing in set 50. Some may not. Right? Some may not. So another technique that I want to teach you here is in the case when you merge data together, you can tell SAS to keep or eliminate data set according to the logic you want. Let's say you keep only observation that exists in both this and this, in both. Or keep the observation that exists here but not here, meaning non-set 50, right? Keep the observation that is what? Yeah, I think according to here could be exists here but not here, or something like that, right? Or whatever logic you want. So this is how we write the code, and this is very important. The way to tell it is that we create what we call the alias. Alias, you use the command in equal to, and alias is just like a nickname. Normally I make it pretty simple like A and B. A refer to this data set. B refer to this data set. It's just a way we refer to the thing just like a nickname, but technically we call it alias. A-L-I-A-S. Alias. This is alias, not alien. Now, I can filter the observation with the conditional command like if, okay, if A and B, that's it. If we'll keep only the observation that meet this requirement. In this case, they must be present in A and B. That's just the technique. Or it must be present in A but not B. A and not B, what is it? I don't remember, maybe not. Oh yeah, I think not B is like this. I need to check. Not B. So you can use the logical command to filter observation according to your demand, the requirement. Well, let's do the simple thing first, A and B. A and B. Originally, we have something like this, right? But once we run this command, run, boom. See, bath is gone. It exists in A, so basically you see that all of them present in those that exist in both variables. How about I change this one? A and not B. So this is non-set 50, right? Non-set 50. So bath, Bata, BCP. Bata, wow, that's old one. Very old one. So these are some technique, VLAN, okay, and so on. So we use if as a filter command, and you use alias technique when you merge the data. So you learn about merging the data set. Okay, I guess the remaining I'll just let you practice it on your own, and I guess that most of you guys are full-time, right? Some of you are flexible. I will do now that I will copy the file in O Drive, and you copy this original SAS program, and you can come to Financial Lab. In Financial Lab, there are only 5 terminals with SAS, 5. But you can also come here. Not this room, I think the first floor, there are also the SAS programs installed. You can ask the officer. You can come practice it on your own, and of course, there are many more tips and tricks to work with the data set, much more than this. And we simply don't have enough time to cover everything. So I give you the example so you can try to come up your own, and I give you the solution later. Exercise. Last one. We don't have now the time now, but maybe next week. Does anybody familiar with SQL, SQL language? SQL? No? No SQL? We have experience at all? We can also use SQL language here as well. But I will cover this one next week. It might be. I will copy everything.
in
Wait.
ไม่ใช่ in with A and B
You can look for the new file in ODrive sample program. You can look for this file. There are many more to learn next week. You can copy this one, practice it on your own, play around, change the parameter. And again, if you don't understand anything, Lally Page is your best friend. You know Lally Page, right? Never heard of it. Does anybody know Lally Page? What is that? Lally Page. He's your best friend. Smartest guy on earth. He knows everything.
Google เหรอ
He's the owner of Google. Lally Page and what is it? Sanko, Sanqui. I don't remember.
ต้องเอี่ยม
Okay, I think that would be all for today, and I hope it's a bit overwhelmed, and you might feel indigestion. Indigestion tonight. But it's okay, very normal. It takes some time. 6 hours cannot cover much.